Congressman Roger Williams is here. And let me do the math here. As an adolescent, were Elvis or the movies part of the soundtrack of your pop culture life?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Elvis and the Beach Boys and the Everly Brothers were the ones I listened to growing up.
There you go. But Elvis would have been 91 today. So there we are. Well, look, we got a lot of things congressionally going on. President Trump there at the Trump Kennedy Center. I want to ask what it was like to be in that room. First, anytime anybody in Congress, anybody in a high office, I'll do this with Senator Cornyn in an hour from now. I know you saw the events of yesterday. Incredibly sad. Just a thought or two about the way public officials should act when controversial things happen versus what happened in Minnesota. I don't want to lead you anywhere you don't want to go, but just your thoughts about what everybody's talking about this morning.
Well, we hate to see what's happened in Minnesota. They've allowed a culture to take over their state, quite frankly, and it's an angry culture. It's a culture that is very anti-law enforcement, anti-police, etc. And it's a horrible thing. And of course, we've seen that tape now so many times, and everybody reads something into it. And I hope that he'll get his due justice. The justice system will be fair to this person and uncover the details. So it's a sad thing. And you know what went unnoticed too last night, Mark, was the shooting they had in Salt Lake City at the Tabernacle, where I think 2 people were killed at a wedding. I mean, we're a little bit out of control, and that's why we need law enforcement. We need discipline. We need to get together and agree to disagree, but move forward.
Precisely true. So as the week began, the Republican members of Congress were brought into the freshly renamed Trump Kennedy Center, and President Trump took to the stage in the facility that bears his name and gave you all a big pep talk about how to win the midterms. What was his main message as you heard it, and how equipped do you think we are to carry it out?
Well, I do think we will win the midterms. I think we got the message. We have to do a better job, I think, Mark, as conservatives of retailing our position. You know, I'm in the car business, so I think about selling, I think about retailing. We need to do a better job. And when I say that, you know, this is a time here in the next 4 months, people can get the largest tax cut refund they've ever seen. We need to talk about the permanency of the taxes we got generated by the big, beautiful bill. We need to talk about less regulations for our banks that are going to allow people to borrow more money and create jobs and create opportunity, and 100% expensing. And, you know, even we talk about people through the years losing the family farm. We passed a bill in this, too, that increases people's inheritance tax obligation from 15 to 30 million, which is great. And you and I have talked before, we've got to focus, too, on getting these young people that are not going to college, get them into trade schools. So we got plumbers, welders, carpenters to take on what I think is going to be one of the greatest economies we've ever had this next year. We need to sell that. He reminded us we need to sell that. We don't need to be playing defense. We need to be very aggressive with what America looks like today and the opportunities ahead for us.
There have always been a lot of different types of Republicans, a lot of different flavors, a lot of different degrees of conservatism. I understand that. Not everybody's going to be hardcore MAGA. Not everybody's going to be as conservative as I am. I totally get it. It seems, though, that we are in an era of outright troublemaking, whether it's what people are saying about Venezuela, whether it's what people are saying about ICE. And again, I'm not looking for lockstep unanimity necessarily, but man, there's some folks that are just deeply unhelpful. And I don't mean just within the halls of Congress, but sort of within sort of conservative social media. It's a weird time when people ought to be looking at the big picture, it seems to me.
No question about it. I mean, we stand on the precipice of having one of the greatest opportunities to grow this country and grow capitalism and entrepreneurship than we've ever seen. And look, we all should be able to agree to disagree. Reagan said 80% of a deal is a pretty good deal. And so, you know, we've got folks that maybe want to take it a different direction, but I think the president's leading. He's reminding us of what conservative values is, what opportunities we have. We need to do a better job in our schools, these kind of things. But we don't need to fight each other because we are our own worst enemy. I believe we win in large part the midterms because the Democrats have no leadership. And you look at AOC and you look at Walz, for example, who could have been vice president. There's no leadership there. And I think if we do the right thing and talk about things that we're doing with a smile on our face, I think we can win almost in certain have a large part by the Democrats just being who they are, and we win from that point.
What is the best thing, speaking of leadership, what's the best thing House leadership can do? What do we want from, what's the best Mike Johnson that we could get for these coming months? Because he catches some grief and catches some praise. And I'm a pretty big fan. There's some things that I've suggested might have been done a little more crisply, but he is the speaker, and he has been part of the big cheerleader for the effort of expanding the lead in the House, which is the one thing that everybody would like to do, is not have this razor thin margin. So what would you like to see from the speaker in this calendar year?
Well, the speaker's done a great job. I mean, really, it is a tough job, Mark, and I know you see that because you look pretty deeply into this stuff. So he's doing a good job. And I've said this publicly to my colleagues: we need to do a better job of selling what we're all about, selling conservative values, and not reacting to charges made by the other side and a lot of lies and so forth. We need to move forward about what we're going to do. Sometimes when you talk more about your opponent than not, you lose ground. And I just think we need to talk about lower taxes, less government spending and so forth, and having a military and where we can be and defending our country and defending values. And I think, again, we need to focus, too, on trade schools and education and giving our kids an opportunity to decide what they want rather than the university or the school they may go to. So I want us to be bigger retailers. I want us to promote what we really believe for, conservative values, and I think that'll be one reason we win the midterms.
Congressman Roger Williams is here, and let's spend a minute on the economy in our last couple of minutes, because you are a business guy. You're the Small Business Committee chair. Pressure's kind of on here. Trump ran on a better economy. Gas prices are down. Grocery prices are down. Things are moving. What's it? Who mentioned it was the Keith Self, your colleague Keith Self mentioned the green shoots are showing sort of a Howard Garrett horticultural nose of a plant coming out of the dirt to show that good and growing things are about to happen. Things are pointing in an optimistic way for the economy. We deeply need for that to continue, don't we?
Well, yeah, we have to have the greatest economy in the world. If the world's going to survive, America has to lead the way economically and militarily. I think we're doing it certainly militarily, and I think from an economic standpoint, look what this guy has done in just less than over a year. I mean, he's digging deep on ways to make our country better, and that's what we are. We are job creators. We are conservative. We believe in the private sector. We believe in entrepreneurship. We believe in competition, and that's what creates a strong America, and that's what he's doing. That's what he's leading. He's showing a lot of people how to lead. He's showing a lot of people how to, frankly, do business and treat people like customers. So I think we got it going. I feel really good about it, Mark, and I think the economy is going to be great. And I've been in the entrepreneurship business 57 years, and I'm excited to be a part of chairing this Small Business Committee. Main Street's doing good. Main Street's got a hop in their step with taxes being cut, inheritance taxes being lowered, regulations, I said, and the opportunity to create more plumbers, welders, carpenters in our schools and graduate others. I think we sit in a great position to set the course on them for hundreds of years, quite frankly.
Last thing, your business avenue has, of course, been automotive. As the year wound down, I sort of reconnected with my good friend Jerry Reynolds, who does the Car Pro show on what we call another station. And he and I were talking about what Ford had to just eat in terms of just billions of dollars for having overestimated people's appetite for electric vehicles. And then did you, as a car guy, did you ever run across my buddy Ed Wallace in that Wheels show?
Sure.
I mean, and Ed passed away over the holidays, and that one still hurts me, man. He was 72. From Jerry to Ed, the guys doing the car talk shows have always had a special place in my heart. So I wanted to kind of run that by you and your thoughts about 2026 automotively.
Well, I think it's going to be good, but Ed was a good friend of mine, too, as is Jerry. But I think that what happened is the big three went woke. They went woke with Obama, and they committed to do all these weird things, build electric vehicles, never asking the consumer, never asking the dealer on what does the customer want. And so they ate the big one. And there is no market for electric vehicles, and they missed it. And that's why the auto manufacturers need to listen more to the consumer, listen more to their dealers, make what the consumer wants and what the dealer wants to sell, and our industry is going to do great. And so we had a good year this year. I think most everybody would tell you it was a good year. Rates are coming down. Prices are even coming down. So it's as they say in my business, never been a better time to buy a car than right now.
Yeah, why, of course.
Right?
When is that ever not the case? And in fact, it is a good thing anytime consumers get choice. I've always been frosted that government thought they should tell automakers what their fuel economy standard should be. If I want to drive a big, massive truck with a V10 that gets 9 miles a gallon, that's my right. If I want to drive a Prius or a really tiny thing, of course, a Chrysler Deeper Judge from the Roger Williams dealerships, that's my business. And listen, there's always going to be a marketplace for cars that get 20, 30, 40 miles per gallon. So it's not like everybody's going to be doing gas guzzling. It was a great thing for Trump to do away with those CAFE standards, the corporate average fuel economy standards.
No question. I was there in the White House when he signed that bill. The first thing I did when I came to Congress almost 15 years ago was get a bill to do away with the standards, because you're right. You need to be able to buy where you want to buy it and what you want to buy, and the manufacturer should make it. They learned a very expensive lesson. Listen to the consumer, not the federal government, and good things will happen.
Last thing, let's remind everybody that since a few months ago, or when we're moving forward, you are going to be their congressman now for the years that we've talked about. The 25th, we've talked about it in a DFW aspect of being sort of south of Fort Worth, Johnson County, sweeping down into those western suburbs of Austin. The 25th district is quite new, and you have some new constituents. Why don't you introduce yourself to them geographically?
Well, I'm excited. Redistricting, of course, comes, as we know, and it moves people around. But now it's a huge honor to be representing all of Arlington, a large part of Fort Worth. We head west out to Callahan and up to Graham and Callahan County and Graham and Young County out toward Abilene. It's a great district. I tell people it's one district I don't have to – I can go in my district now and spend the night at home now for a change. So I'm excited about it. I know so many people in the district, and we're going to do a great job. And, being chairman of the Small Business Committee, we really represent America, Main Street America. So we're covering a lot of ground with a message on our face that we believe in the consumer, we believe in our country. Let's make it great.
Roger Williams, the Twitter feed is Rep, R-E-P, or R, as in Roger Williams, Rep R. Williams on the old X feed. And, Roger, thank you so much. Best to you, the family. God bless, and I know we'll be talking soon.
God bless you, Mark. Thank you.
That is Congressman Roger Williams. I'm Mark Davis. It's